I saw the sorrow in her eyes, a silent storm she tried to hide, like a moon behind the restless tide. Her light dimmed, though she never cried. She held my words like fragile glass, hoping time would let them last. But I was lost in winds so strong, chasing dreams for far too long. She waited where the sunset glows, with love that only patience knows. Yet my silence built a wall so tall, and in its shadow she let go. Now echoes walk where we once stood. Regret still lingers, understood. For love, once pure as desert rain, slipped away and left its pain. She stood in silence, heart so true, eyes of longing, painted blue. A patient soul, so soft, so rare, yet I was lost, unaware. She whispered dreams beneath the stars, hoping I would heal her scars. She gave me love, unchained, untamed, yet all she got was fleeting names. I ran with winds, I chased the sand, too blind to see her outstretched hand. I climbed the heights, I touched the sky, but never saw the tears she'd cry. Her words would bloom like desert rain, yet I would leave, return again. Always late, always a ghost, never there when she needed most. She left me not with anger's flame, nor bitter words, nor heartless blame. Just silence deep, a wound untold. A love once warm, now turned cold. And now I write with trembling hands, lines of loss on shifting sand. If time could turn, if fate could bend, I'd hold her tight and not pretend. But love once lost is like the tide. It won't return, no matter how I cried. I disappointed her. I let her go. Now all that's left is the ache I know. She was the moon that lit my night, a gentle glow, so soft, so bright. She walked with grace, a whispered song, a melody that kept me strong. She gave me love, unchained, so pure, a love so fierce, a love so sure. She waited through my silent days, through distant steps, through endless haze. But I was lost in selfish dreams, caught between the stars and streams. Caught between the stars and streams. I chased the winds, I roamed so free, too blind to see she needed me. She called my name with trembling voice, yet in the noise, I made my choice. I turned away, I let her down, and never saw her hidden frown. She stood alone, yet did not speak. Her strength disguised what made her weak. She smiled through pain, through love undone. A war she fought, a war I won. But victory was a bitter taste, a fleeting joy, a time misplaced. For when I turned to find her there, she was a ghost, a breath, thin air. She left me not with wrath or spite, no angry words, no bitter fight. No angry words, no bitter fight. Just silence carved into my soul, a love now lost, a heart not whole. Now every night, beneath the sky, I search for her, but no reply. For love once lost won't turn around, like echoes lost, like dreams unbound. I disappointed her, I let her fade. Now all that's left is what I've made. A world of gold, of stars so high, yet none can heal the last goodbye. She stood at the door waiting for me, a quiet storm, a wounded sea, eyes like embers, burning low, hiding pain she'd never show. I was the wind, too wild, too fast, living for dreams that couldn't last. She was the shore, steady and kind, holding a love I left behind. She traced my name in whispered prayer, hoping one day I'd meet her there. She counted stars, she held her breath, but love that waits will face its death. She gave me time, she gave me space, but I was lost in my own race. Too blind to see, too deaf to hear the silent breaking of her tears. I promised much, I spoke so sweet, yet never stayed, too quick to leave. She built a home with open doors, but I kept walking distant shores. Then one day, the light was gone. No waiting voice, no patient song. Woefully to me. She left no note, no bitter trace, just emptiness where love once graced. I ran back fast, I called her name, but silence met my voice in shame. The wall still stood, the flowers bloomed, yet love had left, our time consumed. I disappointed her, I lost my place, now longing fills the empty space. For love once held but left astray, will find new wings and fly away. And so I stand where she once stood, a man who now is understood. That hearts aren't meant to wait too long, or love becomes a ghostly song. She was the moon that lit my night, soft and steady, pure and bright. She held me close with hands of gold, a love so warm, yet I stayed cold. She whispered dreams in midnight air, built a world beyond compare. She saw the man I longed to be, yet I was blind, too lost, too free. She stood in doorways, silent, still, waiting for me against her will. She traced my name with hopeful eyes, yet all I gave were empty skies. I chased the winds, I sought the stars, distant lands and battle scars. I spoke of love in fleeting lines, yet never stayed to read her signs. She watched me leave time and again, fading footprints in the sand. Her heart was strong, yet soft and true. She loved me more than I ever knew. But patience bends and hearts will break, a silent sorrow, no mistake. She turned away, she let me go, a final step too late to know. No bitter words, no parting fight, just empty echoes in the night. She walked away, and with her grace, she left me longing for her face. Now every road leads back to her, a ghost of love I still prefer. But time is cruel, it will not wait. Love once lost won't hesitate. I disappointed her. I broke her trust. Left her dreams to turn to dust. Now all that's left is whispered pain, a lesson learned, a love in vain. I'd give the world to turn around, to hold her close, to hear her sound. But love moves on like waves to shore, and she is mine, no more, no more. She stood by the window staring at the rain, tracing the glass, hiding her pain, not piety. A silent storm within her eyes, a love once strong, now cracked with lies. She waited for me through endless nights, holding on to fading lights. She built a world where I belonged, but I was gone before too long. I spoke in verses, sweet and light, promised love beneath the night. But words alone can't hold a heart, and silence tore our souls apart. She left no anger, left no fight, no pleading words to make it right. Just a quiet step, a final glance, a whispered end to our romance. I searched for her in empty streets where laughter fades and echoes weep. And I called her name, but winds replied, a hollow voice where love once lied. She loved too deep, she gave too much, but hearts can't live on air and dust. A love neglected, left to bleed, will find new roots, will plant new seeds. Now someone else will hold her close, will hear the dreams I never chose. He'll kiss her lips, he'll take her hand, and build the life that I had planned. And I will walk these roads alone, a man who learned when love had flown. For love that's left upon a shelf will find a home with someone else. Oh, I disappointed her, I let her break, and now regret is all I take. No second chance, no past to mend, just lessons carved in what won't bend. If time could heal, if fate could bend, I'd hold her close and not pretend. But love once lost won't turn around, and in her heart I won't. She stood in silence, arms wrapped tight, a fading shadow in the night. Her eyes once bright, now dim with pain, a love too strong to lose in vain. She traced my name in whispered prayer, hoping still I'd meet her there. She held on tight with fragile hands, but love can't bloom in shifting sands. She was my home, my steady ground, the quiet peace I never found. She wove her dreams in golden thread, yet I walked past that left them dead. I chased the winds, I sought the sky, too lost to hear her gentle sigh. I took her love, but gave her space, never seeing the hurt I'd traced. She watched me leave time and again, hiding heartbreak with a grin. She stood in doorways, wished me well, yet in her heart she knew too well. Love can't survive on empty air, on whispered words and fleeting care. She needed hands that wouldn't stray, but I let distance pull away. One day I turned, too late to see she had walked away from me, no longer bound by silent hope. She finally cut the tethered rope. She left no note, no last goodbye, no bitter tears for love denied. Just empty space where she once stood, a love I lost, misunderstood. Now every road leads back to her, a ghost of love I still prefer. But time is cruel, it does not wait, and love won't pause for those who stray. Another hand now holds her tight, another voice to calm her night. Someone who stayed, who never roamed, who gave her love, who gave her home. And I remain a man unwise, chasing echoes, haunted skies. I disappointed her, I let her fade. Now all I hold is what I made, a world of stars, of winds so free. Yet none can bring her back to me. She stood where the sunlight met the door, her heart unsure, her soul unsure. She looked at me with quiet pain, a love once bright, now kissed by rain. I saw the way she held her breath, fearing words she'd come to dread. She waited there, so still, so kind, hoping I'd change, hoping in time. She gave me all, she gave me light. She stayed through every stormy night. She whispered dreams, she spoke of fate, but I was always one too late to still. I was the wind, untamed, unchanged. She was the fire, warm and tamed. She stayed, I left, she gave, I took, yet never once I stopped to look. She watched me chase my endless skies, a lonely tear behind her eyes. She never begged, she never spoke, just carried love that slowly broke. Roots that slowly broke. She held my hands with one last sigh, then let them go. No reason why, no angry words, no bitter tone, just silence left to stand alone. I turned too late, I ran too slow, to find her gone, to watch her go, her footprints faded in the sand. A love I lost, not by demand, Go. Now someone else will call her name, someone who stayed, who played no games, who saw the stars she tried to give, who knew that love is meant to live. And I remain with lessons learned, with bridges burned, with pages turned, with pages turned. For love once lost won't turn around, and in her heart I won't be found. I disappointed her, I let her leave, and now regret is all I breathe. No second chance, no pass to mend, just a love that met its end.